live? It's the worst thing about these things. You don't know when they're live. I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. Fingers crossed. I'm just trying to make sure so I'm not talking to no sound. I'll make sure my sound's working. I did that before. I think it does, but I just want to view it so I can see. I did that before. I think it does. Yes, works. Grouse. Righto, legends. Welcome to Sunday Arvo. Today I've got a 75. It's got an oil leak around the rear diff area. I've been told I've got to check the rear brakes, handbrake, front pads, rotors. So let's get into it, I suppose. Any questions you want to ask about anything really, hit me up. I can see my little Parkaloogie. Ralph, thank you very much. I wasn't sure, and it took ages for me to load up. So sorry for the standing around. But I didn't want to be talking because it poured rain here about 10 minutes ago, and you wouldn't have heard a thing. So, yeah. Now I'm behind. I was supposed to lift this up and have it already raised. Yeah, what's everyone up to today? I went camping the other night, and it also rained all night. But, sorry. Completely raw. Not even prepared. Yeah, so I went camping the other night, poured all night. Glad we didn't take the dog. Would have been terrible. We'll start with this corner, I suppose. That's a good start. This thing's got every electrical contraption known to man inside the cab. It's got gauges and dials and all sorts of cool stuff. So this is a HZJ75. It appears to be running a 1HZ with a turbo. There's my lead light. If you want a closer look at stuff, also let me know. I might be able to swing it back, give you a better view, because I know sometimes you want to see stuff. Did you check your axles when you got your front end rebuilt? Because the CVs and axles have, CVs and axles wear grooves on the axle shaft and it can leak. All right, so this thing, great, we're already into something good. I think it's got two problems. So he said I had a leak around the diff to tail shaft, whereas yes, pinion seal is leaking. So we can suss it out shortly. It might have a, I don't know if you can see that. I might put you on a stand in a sec, but that, can you see that play? Because I'm holding it, is it too? That pinion up and down movement, that pinion bearing's worn. But also, that's a classic axle seal leaking out of the back of the hub. It's not leaking out of here. She's leaking out the back. Contaminated the pads. Oh no, that's a shame. I mean, at least she had good parts. But yeah, what a lot of people do when they rebuild swivel hubs is they do not um, allow for CV and axle wear, and then the groove that it wears in the axle shaft, you know, they get it apart and they go, oh, well, we haven't got these parts here, so we're just gonna have to give it back to him. And or you know, they just wing it and put it back together and it leaks and you know. But yeah, look, it happens all the time, unfortunately. All right, now let's see if we can do this again. All right. Surely you can see that better now. Oh, pinion bearing. And unfortunately, it's not as easy as just doing it up tight again, because it's under preload, unless it was a, you know, solid spacer set up and for whatever reason. But usually, if they've come loose, there's a problem. All right, we're back. I need to get the brakes off so we can find out if it is the. I'm sure it's the axle seal. There we go. All right, 12 mil. Some aftermarket brands will run a different nut, which is painful because then you got to, you know, deal with a 13 here and there. I'm only undoing this with the rattle gun. I won't do it up with the rattle gun, that's for sure. I usually just leave just a little bit flush with the stud so I can give it a whack with the. Another thing I hate is silicon. And someone has silicon or something inside those threads. I don't know if they've done that to try and stop a leak from the past or what the story is, but it's my arch nemesis, silicon, and I think I've probably mentioned that a couple of times. Do not like it because it just makes a mess. Oh, I'm so unorganised. Sorry. This is supposed to be a quick. Show you a little. Oh, what have I done? There we go. Yeah. So any questions? Just feel free. It doesn't have to be about this car. It can be about your own car. It can be about other cars that I've done some stuff to. One of my favourite things to do, apart from being unorganised, is when I take these axle studs out is WD-40 them. Now you want to leave the nuts on because when you whack those studs, they come shooting out at a rapid rate of knots. Thought that was loose for a second. Here we go. I nearly got a 1-for-1. So once they're off, you can then proceed. Oh, no, the whole stud's out on that one. Let's replace it. Might have been just a bit too shallow. That's not a problem. It's an easy fix. Oh, they're all loose. So when you put these in, some people do the old double nut trick, which works. Oh, that one didn't come off. Rookie mistake. When some people put them in, they don't tighten the studs. And what happens is the studs themselves work loose, and then the wheel bearing comes loose. So you might have done them up tight on your cone, but if the studs themselves work loose, whoop, I guess not loose, it's, they're all loose. Rehelping and 2 after wheel parts. Master work. I don't know if I go that far. Come on, but thanks. Sometimes you can get the axles out just by pulling them off, but if it's got a good dowel fitting, you will not. So what you can do is just get yourself I'm going to test my memory here. That's an M8 1.25 or something like that. And just gently give it a pop. Hopefully that's a 12. It's just by hand. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Probably not. So it'll trash your gasket, but always replace it anyway. And there you go. There's a money shot. Woo! All that, man. You know what? Unprepared. Where's my drain tray? Goodness me. So someone's done a really good job of sealing up that end of it, but it's just leaked and come out the back. All right. There we go. And just take that out. Just pop out there a bit more. And I find this way of videoing now much easier because I don't have to edit it. You can just watch me as I go. Otherwise, I muck around for too long editing after the fact. I know you might have to skip through some bits if you're not watching live. Now, what happens is, not always, this one could be different. This one doesn't look too bad. Looks very good. That surface there usually will have a wear mark in it. But it's actually grouse. But if you just see there, whoop, where's my finger? Here. There's the seal. The seal's coming out. So we'll... Oh, yuck. I think it's condensation. Something. Looks like something's been dripping on it. I don't know what that is. I've never seen it before. But it's not soft. It's like someone's put some sort of rust coating or something on it. So yeah, I don't know what that is. It's a good one. Or it's a aftermarket axle of some sort from somewhere. Now the other thing we can do, I'll just get rid of this gasket. Gasket's quality. Usually the cheap gaskets, little teary ones. This one sort of can come off after being used. Doesn't appear to have any wheel bearing play, but we won't know until we get some leverage behind it. But I'll just turn these around. Just need to do a glove change, sorry. Look, 3 viewers is better than nothing, right? I think this guy, not dailies, but I think he drives it a little bit. But you're right, it could be. But normally, if it is, like that's coated all over the axle. Normally that stuff just wipes straight off, you know? So it's strange. Like I have seen it before, but it, yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't know how long I'll be doing the live for today, but until I get sick of it. It is a 17. I thought it was a 17. I'm like, no, I don't think it is. Can I get it from the back? So you guys can still keep watching. So there's 2 17s that hold the caliper slides in an extension, of course I do. And it's so funny, you do this stuff all the time, but then when you're under pressure, that someone's watching you. Oh yeah, that's a tight one. So it's very common for these slides to seize. Oh yeah, grouse. And then the caliper gets stuck, and usually wears pads out or won't brake at all, and the customer complains about poor braking. There's one. We'll get closer. Can you see it? If I tap that, will it focus? Come on, focus. Focus, focus. Yeah, just rusty crap. And the other thing is too, blokes don't carry that stuff. So they pull that out, and they go, oh, shit. Sometimes you can clean it up in the wire wheel, but sometimes you can't. But the problem is you can't just go to Repco and buy them. And they want to get this car out straight away. So I'm going to elbow myself here. So they put it back together. Ugh. Yeah, so this one's full of... I'm trying to block that off. It's all corroded. Pitting and corrosion. And the little rubber booties inside also flog out over time. Speaking of, there goes one. That should be in the caliper. And it's probably just been sitting there. Someone's probably just pushed it back in, or it may have come out then. But also this one here at the back, it's half hanging out. Broken in there. Well, we can fix that. I've got those. Heaps of pad material left. Looks like they've just been done. Oh. All right. So, caliper boot just sitting there, not doing anything, just hanging out. So that's a grouse. Which makes me wonder, is that caliper seized? Just sitting there. Well, oh, wow. Someone's put braided lines in this, aftermarket braided lines. These aren't terrain tame ones. I don't know what they are. It's a weird little bend in it too. Anywho, awesome. We'll deal with that later. Let's get this other bit off. Now that's either a 17 or a 19. It's got me questioning myself now. Anything is possible, and I'll tell you what, you see different stuff all the time. Nothing surprises me anymore. If you've got a single hex impact, you can rattle stuff off, but if you haven't, I wouldn't recommend it. As also I was meant to point out before, someone's had a good crack at the that was the caliper slide one. Someone's had some mushing in the past, but they're only a couple of bucks, they're not too dear. So, looks like the caliper piston's sort of done a really hard job pushing into that pad itself, but the other side's barely done a thing. So I don't know whether the slides are, they're both equally worn, but notice how the inner pad is in further on the slide here and the outer pad is right on the edge. So I'm going to say that's because the caliper was in the wrong spot and the piston was just pushing the whole lot across and it wasn't actually doing anything, because that is nearly all the way as far as it can go that way, whereas this one is almost falling out. Oh, and sometimes, like, the cost of a caliper and the two slides and a set of booties, plus I don't know if that piston's seized or not. I think a new like a genuine caliper is about 200 and something bucks. Like, they're not expensive. By the time you pay someone an hour plus boots and to pull the caliper apart and new slides and all that sort of stuff, it's probably going to cost you more than 200 bucks. So this one's probably definitely worth putting a caliper in. I just want to find a tool I've got. It reminds me of those Star Wars flying things. Anyway, I don't know what they're called. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but my dad used to be. I just want to see. You see that? I just want to see if that actually pushes that piston back nicely or not. Yeah, look, that piston's actually, nice to go back. So I don't think it was in the piston. I think it was all in those slides. But that booty off, you still have to pop the piston out. Caliper kit's probably, I don't know, 30 to 60 bucks, something like that. Each of those pins are probably 5 to 10 bucks each. Boots are probably 5 bucks each. Little slide boots, and then an hour. I know what I'd rather be doing. What's TIE Fighter? All right, now, oh, there we go. Woohoo! So that's that needs a wash, but we'll check minimum thickness first because there's no point cleaning that up if it needs to be replaced. So this is the mess you get into when you have a leak in axle seal. Hang on a sec, I'll do a glove change again. Now, look, in a perfect world, this thing will need handbrake shoes because the oil soaks into the shoes and causes all sorts of problems. But the other problem I have, Star Wars Fighter, yeah, it's always made me think of it. Just those things, they're grouse. Oh, that is just caked. And the problem is too, you can't force the customer to do it. Like if the customer goes, look, I've got absolutely no money whatsoever, the best you can do is clean that up and, you know, axles are on the fronts. I usually sell them as a CV axle combo because they're, you don't have to assemble them. You just buy them as a complete unit because also sometimes the CVs have where if I can dig out a CV, I'll show you. Yeah, with these, if the customer's got like no cash at all, you get to say, look, I can clean this up best I can, and then degrees it. I'll take it apart, brake clean it, and it's probably worth a new set of shoes then, isn't it? And just sort of scuff it up and sort of seal it all. But it's just different strokes for different folks. Sometimes it's doable and sometimes it's not. Like that's really bad. But sometimes when it's a little bit of grease on it, you can just give it a scrub up and off you go. While I'm here, actually, there's I've got a chopped out spindle. This isn't got anything with your worn axles though on the front, but this can make a consistent front loose wheel bearing. So that's a front spindle. That's where the front axle, the front wheel bearing runs, and that's actually there's a groove mark there. So the wheel bearing never really sort of sits in it nicely. It's had a lot of water in it. No, that handbrake would not have been working at all. And also too, you can see where the seal surface runs there. So this is the front version. Like this is almost like the spindle version of what I was talking about with where the seal surface runs on that. That's the hub seal though. That's not the axle seal. But this car had a consistently left front wheel bearing coming loose, and that spindle had wear. So we think the wheel bearing would get seated tight, and then it would move on that loose section, that worn out section, and frequently run itself loose. Now let's see. Another thing I like to do is see how tight the wheel bearings were to determine whether they'd been, done properly the first time. So you get the two Phillips heads here. Oh, thank goodness they're not gorilla gripped up. Because like some of these videos you do to edit, they don't want to see all this crap. People don't want to talk, see all the small talk in between the problems and things like that. I just want to say, oh yeah, undo these two screws. Take this nut off here. Put this in here. Do this here. At least this way I can explain to you why stuff happens and see it in real time. So these screws too, these are a great one. People don't replace these because you can't sort of run down to Repco and buy them. But if they don't get put in properly, they wear little... So that's where the screw locks into the wheel bearing lock nut. And they wear in the ends if they haven't been done up properly. So now what I'll do is I'll get the tool and the tension wrench and see exactly how tight that wheel bearing is. Just for the exercise and just so you guys at home can sort of see. What's the best bit? Mr. Hakalugi? I'm just going to grab my tension wrench. I'm going to grab the good one. So we can all see what tension these wheel bearings have done up to. I just like to know, just for my own benefit. All right. We normally have them set to 58. I'm telling you, this isn't going to be on 58. But might be able to see how many turns we can get out of it before it gets to 58. Is that the cruiser one? Yeah, it is. Now, I love this one. This one's got the digital dial on it, so you can't really mess it up. See if I can get a... Oh, yeah, grouse. Have you seen my swivel hub video? That'll show you. But that was done a long time ago too. I've learned a lot since then as well. Learn something new every day. Can you see? Oh, you can kind of see. So that's at 20 newton meters it's registering at. And that's where I'd like it. So it was about a quarter of a turnout. It wasn't, no, look, it's not too bad, but, you know, the problem is now, like once that's done, you'd want to make sure that you're near your three steps. So let me just put this away so I don't end up with tools everywhere. So on these axles and lock nuts, there's 3 steps or 3 little slots, and you line those 3 slots up with the edge of the spindle. I'll tell you why this has failed, is just because that seal has come out. So let's just go back into here. I'll pop this seal out, but you can see clearly that seal's not doing its thing. Oh, I know what's happened here. Now I need to go to another tool so I can show you why this has failed. And now I know why the seal's not all the way in. Can anyone guess before I do it? While I look for this tool. Sure it's in here. Too many drawers. If you do your own swivel hub rebuild kit, Mr. Hakalugi, buy this tool off me. It's a front seal install. You can't mess it up. It's a genuine Toyota, and it installs the that front axle seal spot on. And that's maybe another reason why the mechanic who did it has it leaking all the time. All right. Anyone know why this axle seal is leaking? All right, I'll tell you. So, as you can see, just trying to get you closer without getting myself in the way. As you can see, that seal, you can see it bending there, right? Previously incorrectly installed. You're spot on the money. But do you know why it's previously incorrectly installed? Because, drum roll, it's the wrong way round. These seals, see, that's why I had the sloppy bit, because it was all soft there. And that's why it wasn't all the way in, because it was soft and they couldn't push it any further in. These seals need to go in that way. So the seal can go in and you can nearly push this one in. And that's how that seal needs to go in. Like that. Flush. Beautiful. Now let's slap it back together. No. All right, so what I was talking about before when I got all excited. But you're right, Gary Guru. It was installed incorrectly. Glove change. I have to change my gloves every time I touch the camera stand. Shiny side out. Does it have a shiny side? Spring side in. I don't know. You can. To me, how they go, mate. All right, so BMW, bring my wallet. I'm just going to, actually, I was going to reduce your height, but I'll just raise you up here. Okay, so when we're talking about when I did the adjustment before, let's see if I can just turn this to a little pointy bit. I don't know if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, those lines. There are slots in the spindle itself. So see, these lock nuts have a line in it. There, and there. As long as that line lines up with one of those slots, you've got it okay for those Weasley little screws to go in. So if you put that screw in now, it will work now. So slot has to line up. They don't all have to, just one. So say, for example, this was too tight, you could back this one off to here, or if it was too loose, you could put this one to here. But this one's actually spot on at 50, 58. Needs a tiny little bit more. Now, depending on what that would need to get more, you could probably get away with it. Going back that last little bit is probably a bit too much. Because it's a clapped out bearing, I'd say it wouldn't have gone up that tight to start with. So the other point I was kind of getting at, give me a second. Flick that back up there. I need some better lighting. I've actually got a really good LED light, but it's sort of pointless right now. I can't go and get it. If I, in a perfect world, get this lined up, spot on with that top one just there, you would then get your screwdriver and your, now always use the big screwdriver, not the little number 3s or whatever they were, number 2s. Now if you ever do these up and they feel like they hit before the thread's all the way in, stop, it's not the right hole. Now another little tip, the slots that are remaining, like this one here, that's actually, and this one here, that's the indication to tell you that's where your screws go. Years ago, I used to sit there and I'd line them up. As I said, you learn something new every day. Not everyone's perfect. You'd go, all right, I've done these up now. Let's put the screw in here and see if it goes all the way in. And you put it in, you wind it, and it would get firm right there. And that's sort of flush with that. And look, I've seen barbarians in the past. They get these and they just sit there and they just crank onto that, and it's no good. And that's what happens to these ends. People put them in the wrong hole, and it mushrooms the ends of these over. So line with the line after you've set it all up. That's where your home position is. They don't teach you this at trade school. And like this screw here is actually cactus as well. And this is what I mean. Like people put these back together like this all the time. And I don't know who did this. I don't know if he did it himself or someone else did it. I'm not going to bag anyone for it. But Like that screw head's been bashed before. Don't know why. I don't know why you'd have to belt it. What do you mean by shiny side out, Mr. Gary Guru? I was just curious. No criticism, just wondering. All right, so now we've been through that little lesson. We can undo this. Now, because this is so mashed up too, I'd also suggest to put a new lock nut on it. But as I said, it depends on how much cash this bloke's got. But judging by that rear diff, he's in for a bit of a exercise now. And coming this close to Christmas is a very big worry because we're flat out. And, you know, fixing an oil leak to fixing a diff are two different things. So you take your lock nut out. And you've got 6 holes. So they're your options for your little screw holes. And then in behind that, you've got this washer. And this is the one, really, that stops your wheels falling off. Because if this tab is gone, that can spin. And if that can spin, that nut can spin. If the nut can spin, the wheel can fall off. So this is pretty much all that stops your wheel from falling off. So I'll see if I can find some telltale damage signs. So it's been back to front in the past. I don't know if you can see, just here where my thumb is, there's a dint there. See that dint? That dint is from when someone in the past has tried to put that screw in the wrong spot. And also here, it's very close, just here. Someone's cranked on that and gone, oh, it hasn't gone in. Or they've done it up and that's where it stayed. And usually if a wheel bearing sees this too, these things will have big grooves and wear marks in them from when the wheel bearing's kaput itself. All right, I'm just going to bring you back a little bit so I don't bash the camera. Hey, Danger. Hey, TWG, STWGS. Torgs. Sorry if I don't know who you are. Everyone's got different YouTube handles over Instagram handles and Facebook names and all that sort of jazz. Now, I really want a dirty rag for this because it's going to make a mess everywhere. So the main reason this was in for was that diff leak, but also now we've got a hub leak. Ugh. Yeah, that's trashed. I can't. So that's dripping everywhere. Oh, and I feel bad for this bloke because I reckon he's done all this himself recently, like wheel bearings and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, look, all for doing stuff yourself. Go for it. Just buy parts from me. I'm joking. Seriously. No, the support you guys give me is great, and that's one thing that makes me want to do this sort of stuff because I get so much support from it. You know, these bearings actually look quite new. They're not very old at all. That dark stuff's just that junk from the hub. That seal doesn't want to come out now. Wow, see this thing? All right. Yeah, so this car's full of the infos. This has had a wheel bearing collapse before. Oh God. Yeah, you saw it first. I didn't damage this. That there is metal. And I reckon that's just come out when I just popped the axle seal out, it came out with it. It's all in there. What's happened in the past in this car. Is it? Is that metal or is that like bearing retainer? Let me check. Yeah, it's not metal. I think someone's put bearing fit or something in there to try and get you a bit closer again. So this has got all this gunky crap in there, but I think it's like bearing fit or something like that to hold the ceiling. Because maybe what they've done is they've put the ceiling backwards and then they've just loaded it up with this stuff to stop the seal from falling out. Oh, maybe that's that stuff that's all over the axle. No, but surely not. That's a lot of crap. I don't know what's going on here. This is strange. This whole thing is strange. But I reckon this thing has had a wheel bearing fail before. Two ways I can tell. It looks like someone's filed the edge of here because when a wheel bearing poos its pants, the axle comes loose and can flog out in there. So it opens up that hole and it's really hard to get this nut back on. And you have to sort of smooth the edges out to get it back in. But another sign, glove change, is, messed up, hang on. I need one glove on, one glove off. Because my lead light's contaminated. Right, so, see, how am I supposed to do this with no free hand? Hang on. So I make these crafty lights. A magnetic light folds up there like that, kicks on here. All right, so that mark that's there, that's where the axle has come loose in the past and gone round and round and round and round and round when the wheel bearing's collapsed. But I still want to know what this crap is in there. It's crazy, isn't it? Ew. Oh, you know what we should do now? Let's drain the diff oil. Let's see what comes out of the diff. 24mm single hex only. Never use anything else. Or I'll growl at you. Because 9 out of the 10 diff plug posts on TOA are about strip plugs. And the only way they really strip, even if they're really super, super tight, is because you don't use a single hex. You don't use a single hex socket. All right, so we're going to drain the diff oil anyway because it's cactus. So let's shed some light on the situation. Yeah, so that's someone's. I'm so glad I haven't worked on this before. This would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? So there's a copper washer on that diff plug, and it looks like it's not the correct size. And I only use the little genuine sort of alloy ones. That's how I know I haven't done it before. So single hex socket, that's what a single hex socket looks like. It's not really that tight. Oh, double washer. When it leaks, put another washer into it. See if it fixes it. Let me get another drain tray. I've still got a bit to go though. I've still got like I don't even get monetized for this. This is all just me just hanging out. I think I've got another 200 hours before I can actually advertise parts on my shop on it. Here we go. You can't see me, but I know what I'm trying to do. Alright, so another drain tray. Just because I know as soon as I take this out. So what's... Oh, it's all tight too. It's probably got a damaged thread or something. I'll take this off and I'll show you. Ugh. Oh, look at the colour. So, like what I was saying before, someone's double washed it. Why? Who knows? I don't know what that one is. Fiver or something. This is the copper one. I see what I was saying before about it. It's like a sausage in a hallway. Water in there. Oh, yeah. And look, that's probably why the pinion bearing's gone too. Oh, no. And look, to be honest, I didn't road test it prior, so I don't know if it's got a windy diff or not. But when the diff center comes out, you'll be able to tell. By the way the teeth meshing pattern has happened. There was no complaints about a noise. He just said it was leaking. Everything about this is strange. Like, I'm just cleaning the plug out. I don't know if you can see, but the plug, someone's like belted in. Oh, actually, unless this is something in the diff. Hang on, let me take you to where there's more light. Glove change. So, because I'm like, why is the diff plug looking like that? Oh, that's weird. Who would belt that? I'm like, oh, hang on a second. That's inside the diff. What if something in the diff has gone astray and entered straight into the fill plug? That would make sense why it was hard to get out, because as whatever's hit that has pushed the it's like splayed open the thread. So as it's come out, you can see those last those last threads are sort of grabbed, and yeah, you can see that spot just there. I reckon it's like a high spot. So it's jammed in there, and it's been hard to get out. So that would make all sense in the world. Now, for all you guys that like to watch a bit of satisfaction, hold that thought for a second, and I'll drain the rest of it for you so you can get your jollies off on creamy diff oil. Without getting myself... Oh, this doesn't... Yeah. The other problem we've had in the past too, these... Oh, there we go. These drain protector things on them. Can you see that? No, you can't even see it. The bottom of the diff... Hang on, let me just drain this out first. The bottom of the diff where the drain plug is, there's a metal ring, and that's to protect the drain plug. But what happens is if you hit it with rocks and stuff, they get damaged, then you can't get the socket in. Here we go. Oh, and again, double washer. Now, look, this could be a thing. Someone tell me, is a fibre and a copper washer yeah, there's two washers. Is a fibre and a copper washer a thing? Oh, this has got 3 on it. Does the bung have a magnet? Well, Huckaloogie, I reckon it did. I did have a magnet, and it's gone. So let me just get a glove. The reason why I wear gloves is so I can constantly change them if I have to pick up a phone or move a camera around. Plumber. Yeah, look, it's got copper, some other form of. Let me grab something to help me get that off. And this is the thing, right? If I was doing this video not live, you wouldn't really edit that in. You'd just be like, oh, I had 3 washes on it, keep going. Whereas some people find this interesting. All right, so there's your washer number 2, which, yeah, as I said, feels like a fibre or some sort of weird washer. And then you've got old squashy, washer number 3. And that's really on there. I'm not getting that one off without cutting it off. And the easiest way to get them off is just with a pair of side cutters. You can cut it. But as the question was asked before, does it have a magnetic drain plug? It looks like it did, but it looks like it's been eaten by something. So it doesn't appear to be there anymore. So for all you viewers at home, one moment, please, and I'll show you something. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm up to 6 pairs of gloves. Do not let the government get hold of that information, otherwise I'll ban single-use gloves on me. Is there one here? Probably not. All right, so there we go. Just headed up into my little parts bin. That one there. It's not that one. It's not the one I was thinking of. That's the one I was thinking of. Nearly made a liar out of myself. Oh, talking shit again. And I think everyone should find this information handy, you know, like it's a good life experience because some people might pull it off and get 2 washes. Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Clothes detergent, what do you reckon to clean it out? That's what it would have looked like, I reckon. It is, hang on. Let me change my gloves. Oh, and that's the wash I was talking about. These ones fit perfectly over. You don't have any dramas. My rule of thumb is, as soon as that washer overhangs the flats, change it. Oh, look, single use, like they're $2 or something. Change it. That's what it would look like. So that is somewhere inside the diff. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull the diff out today because it's nearly dinner time. Not quite, but you know what I mean. I'll leave that there for later. Well, it's going to need a new diff plug, isn't it? Can't use that one. May as well put this one in. I probably should have grabbed myself a magnet whilst I was draining that. Didn't really think there was going to be any metal in it though, so. But Who's that bloke that used to do the painting with the sauce and the spaghetti? Pro Art? Brad, what have you done? That commercial? Yeah, it's got a little bit of crud, but nothing out of the ordinary. But why has that blown the magnet off? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I can easily get this back off the hoist tomorrow just by putting a hub on it. We should pull the other side off and have a squiz. We've got time. But sadly, I think old mate's budget's running out at a rapid rate of knots. So I don't know if we're going to get to his front end. Oh, look at it. Oh, yeah. What a darling. Here's me just making a bigger mess. Another telltale sign, which I'm sure everyone's seen a million times on TOA. When these dowels start to walk out of the hub, it usually means you've got a loose wheel bearing. Just have a quick squeeze of any that are around here so I could show you. Anyway. Nickel coated niobium. What's the reference point on that? I know you're answering questions that I've asked, but I think it's a bit of a delay, so I'm not sure if it's what I'm currently talking about. Does the moment? Yeah, it's Palmer's closed detergent. I haven't even got the new comment yet on the other one. All right, I need to. Let me just check my charge on the recording device. The magnet code disintegrated. Yeah, but what would make it, like, something would have to hit it to make it disintegrate? Like, they don't just fall apart. You know, that looks like something's been in there and chopped the absolute bajingos out of it. You know, like a bit of crown wheel or something. Oh, look, it could be a bit of pinion bearing. Just going to do that slump up so it doesn't drain all over my floor everywhere. One moment, please. Hope no one's in a rush. Is everyone watching? Did everyone join the link off TOA, or did people join via notifications, or did you just find me, you know, for the sake of it? I'll be curious. All right, let me whip this wheel off. But days like today, I really like to work on my own car. But I don't know. It just seems like the older you get, the more time you don't have to do anything. It's my young bloke's birthday tomorrow. Excuse me, noise. Now this side is dry. I'm curious to know whether the seal is in the right way, or if he's done it up. You know, you've done it the same way, done it a different way. It's been done somewhere else. Wow, far out. This is the perfect car for what could go wrong. All right. So let me just check a few things first before I lift you off your stand. All right, so we're talking about booties before on the caliper. That one there. This one just here. There's nothing left of it. So that slide will probably be seized. That one down there, I don't know what it's doing. The caliper piston boot looks a bit smushed. So let's get into another can of worms. Is this side going to be leaking as well when I crack the axle out? Or is it going to be okay? Give me some suspenseful music and we'll find out. Bring that across there. I've seen some pretty bad ones. I've seen some pretty bad scenarios. Did you watch the one I did the other day with the front leaf spring was snapped off? And like it had been to a mechanic, and the mechanic's like, "Do not drive this car anywhere." I don't think it bothered her too much. I think she was just cruising out still. I hope that, let me know if that rain gets annoying. As much as the rain sounds grouse on the roof, I don't know how much it affects my sound. Oh no, hang on a sec, I'll just... Yeah, cool, that's good to know. You reckon they crumble? The magnets? Yeah, right. I've never seen one. I've never seen them crumble like that. That one looks like it's Crater of the Moon. Oh. You might me to edit that out. Might need a bit more, need a bit more. Oh, I think you're a bit close to me. What's that? Tell you what that's wrong. Oh, you going now? You leave me? That's all right, I understand. You can always watch this later. I'm purely doing it, so I don't have to edit it. I can just let it go. If these don't want to come out, you just got to hit them harder. Oh, that one's mashed. So if you're watching like a pre-made video, they'd be just like bang, 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 whoop, 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 axle's out. Happy days. Doesn't happen like that in the real world. So what I think might have happened on the other side is they've done a wheel bearing and they've got a, oh, I don't even know if that hub's new. They might have got a new hub and they haven't checked the studs for tightness. They've just belted the wheel bearing in, put the seal in backwards just due to not knowing and, you know, gone from there. Because these have moved, what you can do is just get yourself some multi-grips, or even those vices like I was using before, and you should just be able to get, the problem is if you squeeze them, they can close up, but just enough to pull them out. But you're squeezing too much, they don't want to come out because you're closing them up. Catch 22. I think these might just be held in because they've been siliconed in or something in the past. They're loose, they're just bit tight. Alright. 7 viewers, good on yous. Don't be scared, say g'day. Let me know what your weekend's been like. Another 12. This one I'm just going to cheat a little bit. You just gently just turn it, and if the axle pops out straight away like this one, oh, classic. All right, so this one here has pulled the dowels out. So the dowels are stuck in the axle, and the dowels will come with it, which is fine. You just pop them back out and get on with life. It's not the end of the world situation. But funnily enough, this has the seal in the wrong way. And if you don't believe me, you got no reason not to. You can just see the spring from the seal in there? Yeah, the spring's supposed to be on the inside. All right, so pop this axle out. No, this one's full of oil. It just didn't drip much. Come on. All right, so note the dowels are still in place. The axle seal surface actually is not too bad on this either, so that's good. Good sign. I'm not going to do the bearing tension check again. I was just doing that before for the exercise, but there's definitely, can you see it? There's definitely oil, sorry, in there. I tell you what, they've done a really good job of getting that seal in, like flush. I don't know how they got it in that far, but that bad boy is nearly flush with the spindle of the diff. So that's well done. It's not right, but you know, you still got it. This side I can't use a rattle gun to get the caliper off because the diff pumpkin is in the way. So you're gonna have to bear with me grunting and carrying on because I reckon that slide will be a bit seized. What's the best angle to slide you around from? I may get in your way, I may not. Probably will. Oh, I don't want to hurt myself here. We're going to need a bigger bar. So, I do have, this is my regular, my breaker bar if I need to get something off. But if something's going to be a bit tight, it's like when you see go back to Star Wars again, you know, at the start you see the thing fly over the top. There's, you know, sort of Yeah, yeah. Thinking all the credits roll up the screen. Yeah, this is the the last step before you turn it to liquid. But there's no room to. There's no room to move it. I might have to get my extension bar back out again. I just thought that on the fly. You can't make this stuff up. No, no messing around. There's no effort either trying to get that off with this thing. Lever in 1.5 meters off the poor old 17. It's not going anywhere. Anyway, yeah, that's my new breaker bar. Grouse. Lifetime warranty. But what are you undoing to break that? I see just winding the caliper slide boot in with it. It's a bit awkward for me because I'm trying to get you to see what I'm doing, but this is how I would normally do it. And remember, that was already broken. We could have got that actually. That's how it should come off. So that one there, this is that's pretty standard run-of-the-mill slide pin. They come out pretty easy. Someone has mashed this at some point. You can see it's a bit how you're going. But as I said, you'd almost want to put new calipers on it. That's acting like the pin's bent, but I think it's just because of the there's no rubber left. Now, will I be able to get it off with trusty old vice grips? Or is it going to be right in there? And actually, this, no, it's probably not. It's pretty clean. All right, so caliper off. It's pulled. That's what it looks like. That's on the top side, and the bottom side just has a blanking plate, and the boot on the front. There's nothing inside. That's where I had no lube whatsoever. But it's had pads recently, or they're not doing their job. The pads aren't doing the job, you know what I mean? Or the rear brakes. Time of day is 5 o'clock. I'm still here. Just checking the time. What was I doing? That's it. Ugh. Now, move that out of the way. Yes, I could do a whole series in this car by looking underneath it. The proportioning valve boots a cactus. But they obviously spent a bit of money trying to make this thing stop because it's got braided lines on it. You know, they put new pads in it. So they're trying to do all the right things to make it stop. But I don't know. I actually think this car came to us once with a clutch that had been done by someone else, and it had like 5 different size bolts in the removal process because someone had it out once before and it caused dramas. And yeah. All right. So pads look good. I don't know what pad they are. Doesn't say. But let's see how dry it is inside. And that one there. Still new to all this, you know, imagery business. This hasn't been leaking at, they're new shoes and everything. So you can see where there's like burn marks from where the oil's been getting dragged around with the shoes and getting hot and then turning it into like a sludgy goodness concoction. And then it would have been really grippy. But these shoes aren't old. Like, you could almost save that one maybe with a bit of, you know, if you cleaned it up, a bit of brake cleaner and stuff like that. Or even the pins and stuff like inside there, they're all not that bad. I reckon this has got a new hub in it too. See, it's all shiny in there. Bearing feels good, but still, that seal's in back to front. You guys want to see a dead body? You want to pull the diff out? We'll pull the diff out. Whilst we're here, may as well. I'm that close. I'm not going to take that hub off now because we know it's trashed. We don't need handbrake shoes. The diff itself, I want to know what's wrong with it. I mean, it can't be driven like that now. Like it's just going to implode. So, to remove a rear diff, we will start by removing the tail shaft. And by removing the tail shaft, we will require 14mm socket and a spanner. Is that rain alright on everyone's end? Like it's not annoying you? We'll plop you here so you can see. See if I can get in here. So yeah, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't get in here. Don't sweat it. We'll be okay. Oh, can't hear the rain. Beautiful. It sounds, it's very loud on the roof, and that's why I try and do it through the headphones. Because with the lapel mic, doing this sort of work, it rubs and scruffles on my shirt. Whereas this way, I can just do everything I need to do. I don't like doing stuff with open enders because they can strip quite easily. But sometimes you don't have if you can't get that in there, you don't have a choice. Yeah, I've got another spanner in, but I mean, look, I've got these bolts in stock, so it doesn't really bother me. You can get a you know why? Probably because the bearings collapsed a little bit. So I was going to say, normally it feels like you can get the ring end on. Now, also, I think I mentioned this the other day in my 75 video. Glad I reminded myself. On the tail shaft, on the tail shaft, sorry, I'm just trying to make this light as non-invasive as possible. You'll note that on the nut end, there's a washer. Now, I said this the other day, but the one... did I? Yeah, I think I did. I might have been telling someone at work. I might have been telling someone. Might have nothing to do with my video. Anyway, I'll show you. On tail shafts, you always put the nut on the washer, sorry, on the nut end, and the bolt end just has nothing. It has that fat head on it. But no, look, I might be talking out my ass now. Hang on, or is it a nut on the bolt head end? It's one of them. I'm gonna have to look it up now. You've got me on the spot. I think it's the other way around, actually. I think it's the washer goes on the big fat end of the nut, and the washer goes on the head. Yes. So this isn't most to your normal thoughts. Yeah, there we go. So you see how the spanner went straight on then? It's because that bearing's cactus. Oh, it's very tight. Yeah, the washer goes on the head of the bolt. If you ever get stuck with a spanner, like a short spanner like that, and it hurts your hands, you get yourself another spanner. And you... What am I trying to do here? Exactly what I'm trying to do here. Oh, it's too big, that's why. Hang on. I'll get a smaller one. There we go. Well, like, why isn't this working? All right. So, there's your spanner. I want to turn this bolt down. So what you do is you get yourself another ring spanner like that. But you want to do it this way. Then as you come down, you can hold it and curse. Ugh, that was very tight. Might as well just do the rest while we're here. This is the problem when you do live videos. You can make mistakes. And look, everyone makes mistakes. It's very hard to come up with this stuff on the spot sometimes. It's sort of, some of it's common sense, but other times, you got to, you get these little moments of, hang on a second, am I talking about the right thing here? Oh, look, that's okay. As I said, everyone's, no one's perfect. All right. Now, you don't want to take all these out. Because you don't want it the back of the tail shaft to fall, because it can pull a slip joint out. Maybe this isn't the car we did the gearbox on, because this wouldn't be correct. We don't really do much work on this car. Sell him a lot of parts. Quick, he's covering his ass. He's covering his ass. I'm going to have to get a diagram now, and Because it's funny, because on the front, which is just studs only, the washer's on the studs. I'll get a diagram. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself, but I'm pretty sure it's under the head of the bolt. Unless someone wants to whip out a diagram now while you're talking. But even the tail shaft looks like it's been painted. It's just strange, unless it's had some sort of home recal or something. I don't know. That's the last one. Great. All right. Hold that thought, everyone. I'm going to go up. Now, anyone that's tuning in, are you like just tuning in straight to where it's live, or you're starting from the start and working your way up? I suppose I'll never know till later. The tail shaft doesn't look that old either. Oh no, it's definitely not a Rico box. Okay. Sounds like a flock of budgies. All right, so now turn you around. Yeah, this is weird. Note how, I don't know if you can see, I'll bring it up. See, the nuts are like not even flush with the stud, which is not cool, that's for sure. I don't know what's going on here. This is strange. Everything about this thing is strange. And I said, if he's done it himself, everyone learns from their mistakes. He can, you know, you're not going to sit there and be like, geez, what a... Oh, yeah? No, it's got a brand new tail shaft in it. How do you know, Mr. Danger? Well, that's how. So when they build these and balance them, they phase them. So this uni joint will be exactly the same as that one. If they're out of phase, it can cause you all sorts of dramas and whatnot. So someone has, at some point, rebuilt this tail shaft. Thanks for watching, everyone, too. I really appreciate it. I don't know if I said that before. It means a lot to me. Because I probably wouldn't do it if no one was watching. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. I can't remember why I did my Civil Hub video years ago. Maybe someone said, you should do a video. All right, now. That's the spot I want. Ugh. The sockets on this ratchet are those King Chrome locket ones, which are pretty handy. They're good for semi-rounded nuts and bolts and whatnot. Ugh, there we go. Dad's old faithful Stanley screwdriver. But I don't know why these studs aren't long enough. It doesn't make any sense unless it's an aftermarket. Can you see there? It's an aftermarket flange yoke that someone's put on, and it's wider than the like a factory one, or the studs aren't long enough, or that it's not supposed to have washers. But even putting that there, like like so, that stud would barely stick out the top of that thread. Maybe it's the wrong thread, but the flange doesn't look that old either. So this thing's also in for, oh yuck. This thing's also in for brakes, front brakes, something to do with the front brakes, if they need doing or not. And the low level sump light is always on. Oh, front tail shaft's brand new as well. Wonder if they're chasing a problem. And that washer there, that's like a brand newie too. It's a mystery. I need to call him tomorrow and find out what's going on. What the story is. All the crossmember bolts are got nut and bolts in them. We'd normally put helicoils in them to bring it back to standard because I absolutely hate mismatched nuts and bolts. Does my head in. Now you can undo this end all the way because the studs will hold it in place. So you do not have to worry about that. Tail shaft doesn't even look like it's been greased. So what I'll do now, maybe I'll try and pan you on wide. Sorry. There we go. Oh, Troopy. Alright, so I'll get this last nut and bolt off. Now it shouldn't move because it'll be just stuck on the flange. I'll stand back because I'll make a fool of myself and it'll KO me and I'll get knocked out on live TV. Now we'll just get the Stanley under the back here. Pry it down. Oh, I dropped my Stanley. Oh, there we go. Tail shaft out of the way. Ugh. So, hang on. I'll grab a clean rag. Now, as I said, I don't know if I'm chasing a vibration, and that's why maybe that's why the pinion's pooed its pants because drum roll. Actually, hang on. Hold that thought. I think this has the ability to. Here we go. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a tiny, tiny bit of play in that bearing. Now, if the old tail shaft was cactus, it could have prematurely worn the bearings, which look, wouldn't put past it sometimes. But let's get back to this bad boy. Oh, look at that. But that won't be loose for being loose because, well, I mean, it could be. But that's been lock punched there and it hasn't come undone. Like it hasn't wound itself around. Otherwise, that section there would be busted off. And what can happen with these is if you crush them up and you don't crush them properly, they can come loose. If it's on a solid space, you can do it up as tight as you want. But the biggest risk in tightening these back up to see if they're okay will be you'll throw your bearing preload out because it was set and your bearing is worn or whatever's happened and you're just going cranking on it to tighten it back up, even if it's to a preload, it's not set to your cramble pinion spacing. So you could be pulling the bearing further out, or the cramble further away. Next minute, you've got wicked teeth wear, and your diff's howling. Little 14s. Oh, let me find my 14, and I'll get the old rattler. I think you'll like my my next tool that I dig out. Is anyone actually enjoying this video? Is this like a, we should shut up. Is it informative? Is it entertainment? Is it boring? Is there something I could do better? Let me know. Sorry, I've got a nut stuck in the socket. You see everything? You can see what I'm doing there. Now, doing this at home is totally possible, but getting that pumpkin out, it can be tricky. It's heavy. It's real heavy. So just be careful. Give us a like if I think likes help with the algorithms and stuff. So if you're watching it and you like it, throw a like. Oh, also too, I'm growing a mustache for November. It'd be great if you could, donate $5. I think I did a video on it in my one of my videos, so you'll be able to find it. Even if it's $1, I don't think there's a minimum amount. But normally, if you watch my videos, you'll know that I've always got a mustache. Hey, thanks to likers. But I shaved it off just to grow it back. All right, so this is the last one. Now it's not gonna fall out, but you don't want this thing falling on your feet or your concrete for that matter, because it'll make a mess. How's the comment section going? The education is always good. Is Molly okay for uni joints? Yeah. Yeah, I think there's different grades of moly. I used to use a moly grease that was okay and recommended for wheel bearings and CV joints. It was a Uniplex grease by Anglim Oil, and it actually stated it was a high temperature wheel bearing grease, but it could also be used for CV joints, which is usually unheard of. But look, the only time I don't think I've ever seen a uni joint fail for wrong grease. The only time I've ever seen uni joints fail is for no grease. And like we've got them in here before where, you have the machine on it, be like, and just go for ages before it even starts, and you just listen for that first noise. You don't want the oil spewing out, but you don't want it, you don't want to not put enough in there. And we've had it before where you grease it and water comes out as you're greasing it. All right, hold on for 2 secs because I need to find something. Because I wasn't prepared to get to this point. I had no idea that I was going to be pulling a diff out. So I just need to... Might have to make a phone call. Can I phone a friend? That's not it. Where is it? 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 I have a fandangle tool. Chachi? Oh, is that not the right one? You have to bear with me for a sec. I'm just trying. There's a tool that I've got that allows me to make light work of that diff center. So I just need to remember where it's gone. Because it's a perler. It's an absolute lifesaver. But I think the one I've got in my hand, which you can't see, is not the tool that we need. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I need a... Oh, yeah, I think it is actually. I just looked at it the wrong way. Well, suck it and see anyway. Just got to weave my way through because it's not a regular day, so that all the stuff's packed up. So you just listen to me talk whilst I'm fluffing around. I know it must be a bit boring, but I'll be back in a minute because this is the stuff you can't prepare or plan for. But I'm on my way. I'm coming. I'm nearly there. Might just have to clear some stuff out of the way. All right, just fast forward through this if you're watching it later. Right, where are we? We'll just scooch back a little bit. There we go. I'm on the wrong side. All right, same side, just got to go around the right way. There we go. All right. This here is a diff center extraction tool. That's what we'll call it. You just plop it up to your desired height. Put your tail shaft bolts in. Probably wouldn't hurt to do these up to a desired, torque setting. Because you don't really want it flopping around. It's worse thing about YouTube, you can't have music. You're copyrighted. Oh, I've got a multi-fit flange on. One moment, please. Trying to do this with the camera there's a bit tricky. I should have just lined her up. The first time. There we go. I mean, you could do this if you're at home. If you had the spare time and you had an old flange you could chop up and all that sort of stuff. Otherwise, it's not really, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. But when you need to do this sort of stuff, it's very, very handy. Now I say, what did I do with my spanner? You can't be that far away. I just had it. Classic workshop. These are the bits you can't edit out either. I'm trying to find my. There it is. It's up high because I've just gone up. All right, so we'll put this in here. Swap sides. So I just haven't banged my head yet. All right, that one's firm. Doesn't have to be super tight, but you don't want it to have a heap of, free play. All right, that's that there. Now I can proceed to remove that top nut and washer. There's the washer. That doesn't want to come off. Just my luck. And now I can't find my little screwdriver I had before to get the other ones out. Come on, mate. Just be a helper. Sorry. This normally doesn't happen. It normally works every time. Oh, there we go. Oh, what an exercise that was. Okay. Now, start to go up a little bit. Hopefully, have I undone them all? Yes, I have. All right. Take a bit of pressure off. I've got another trick up my sleeve just to get cracker loose. It's in the form of a dead blow hammer made out of like rubber. Oh, but now I can't because my thing's not in the way. My light's in the way. You guys are in the way. Oh, she's starting to free up. She's on there a bit tight too. There we go. Are we going to leak anymore? That's the question. All right, guys, stand back. now also too, I've had these where something's imploded and you can't get the diff center out because it's sort of blown the diff out inside. And like, it's a precise fit. If you've ever pulled a diff out, you'll understand what I mean. Oh, I hope this doesn't make a dig out of me. Go flying somewhere. There we go. All right. Keep going. All right, we'll get it out onto the light. Have a squeeze. See what we've got. That can stay there, and I'll get the other tray from before to sit under this. The only thing I can't do now is turn the thing over because, you know, it's locked. I don't know what I'm looking for yet either. It could be nothing. There could be nothing. Oh, hang on. Not as excited as I normally. Oh, look out. Look what we got here. Seven watches. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah, this is cactus, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Why is it so quiet? Is it because it's not raining anymore? I'm looking at the screen like you guys are not watching. I can't hear. I can't see much on the pinion front, but I can probably show you what a cactus bearing looks like. But I need to be able to, hang on. Oop, there we go, look at that, disconnect. So, now I need two hands though. Hang on. So you look inside there, that's the pinion gear, and you can see those little rollers at the very front. That's the pinion bearing. Now, if I can somehow, don't know how I'm going to do it, hold the torch like that, grab the diff, you see that? So what we're looking for is an air gap. Where are we going here? So just here, we're looking for an air gap. So that's that pinion bearing plate that's got. All right, so that's part one of why this is no good. Part two is What's going on here? See on that pinion, see that mark on this tooth here? That's like, that's not a scratch. Oh no. How much battery have I got left in this thing? That's all right. That is like corrosion and pitting right there. So now that's either due to the worn pinion and it's affecting the crown wheel. You can see it. See that all the way around. Just need the camera to pick up on it. But you're looking sort of, just so when I bring the camera in, you can see it right on the inside here. Why did it work so much better before? Anyway, yeah, that's nearly every tooth's got it. So that's not cool. On the back side, she doesn't look too bad. But yeah, on that front side, it's real bad. So anyway, that's that, and that'll be where the corner of that pinion will be rubbing inside that crown wheel. Thanks, legends. That's about me now. You look, support Movember. Donate $5 or something. It's on my I did a video the other day about it. So yeah, this is the mess that's ensued. Is that the word? Anyway, yeah, that's me. I'm gonna pack it up now. I'll let you know what happened with it. Maybe we'll do a video when I pull the diff apart, and we'll go from there. See what's wrong with it. But first, I need to talk to old mate and find out exactly what he wants to do because we're in a pickle. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your Sunday arvo. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And have a good night.